Did I win? Good day and salutations, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Together We Roll.
Yay!
God help us all. Anyway, before we begin, is there anything that we need to say to help try to hide my speech impediment?
No thanks.
Okay, so last time we left off our intrepid adventurers, the Wild Seven, the Seven Wild.
Seven's Wild.
Seven Wild might be calling that. Okay. Have just an encounter with the extremist group known as the Residuum Extremists. We're trying to do a train raid or train explosion to kill Captain Rogar, did not succeed, and to pillage the item in question under the guise of the Mr. Ozkai's guards, tongue to hear under the command of the Minotaur Rustborn, to say that you have been, false lies about something about you guys running away with equipment and harboring a fugitive with their assistance of not Thesian, I keep saying Thesian, of the Illyrian theocracy, there we go, that had support from various paladins, clerics, and a high inquisitor that had a name shouted during the combat before he teleported out. He meant to teleport out with everyone, but due to this circumstance and the craziness, and he fell already once with his cleric, he wasn't going to go again. He left before his brains were splattered on the floor again. He didn't want to see his memories in his childhood. Anyway, you guys have convinced only three, very hurt, one broken hip, one broken foot, popped back, and another one half bludgeoned to death. Residuum extremist saboteurs that have relinquished all control and have given up completely due to terrible rolls at the end, and one, unfortunately, unconscious paladin of Tyr. We come back with the train still moving. All situations of immediate danger has been taken care of. The train seems to be holding together at the moment, and currently Ozzy is walking around just doing this as he's looking at the exploded room of his artillery shell, just going, oh, bastards.
Every one of them. Hey, at least you got a full bar.
I'm gonna check it twice.
We've got to stop this train.
Why?
Ozzy, can we just stop the train?
Why?
Why?
We don't want to go. Bring it back. We can't bring that back.
Why?
Bring what?
We can't bring...
what Bridger's holding?
Yes, we can't bring that back.
But that's property of the Mr. Archives.
And if that gets in the hands of the government...
It's not going to go to the government. It's property of the Mr. Archive.
It needs to be hidden. It needs to be taken.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, first of all, you look fucked up. And I'm not talking about physically. You have a lot of blood all over you, but your eyes are very squirrely right now. You okay?
Well, I would say no, I'm not okay.
Okay.
I'm not okay.
Take a sit down at the bar over there. You got a grappling hook, right? Go take a drink with the big hands out.
You have to use the grappling hook to get through the train.
All right, can you answer this, Ozzy?
Yeah.
How far away, how long is it going to take to get back to the Mr. Archives?
He takes out a big, a cartoonishly big, regular sized, but to him is cartoonishly big, like pocket watch that unfolds 4 times. Well, we're only about an hour and a half into the journey, so we got about 6.5 hours before we arrive to the Mr. Archive, if we stay on the current trek. But okay, let's say I listen to you, okay? We don't go, so what, we just become fugitives? Is that what you want?
I would rather have us not be going
because we're going to be taking property. Let me finish. Look, I'm all man for sticking to the government kind of deal, but I need cause and also a sugar daddy, all right? So hold on.
Mr. Archive pays pretty well.
Yeah. The Mr. Archive pays well, all right? You know that. You got paid. Not through official means, but you got paid. 500 gold pieces for 1 gig. That's good. We're going to get paid probably 1,000 gold a pop when we come back, especially with Captain Rogar. Captain Rogar's, yeah! and probably more because you're also securing and making sure that the doohickey that blinded me for a half second, that has also a lot of potential energy and stuff like that. But it needs study. It needs study because it's a potential power source. But,
Yeah.
but so you're saying that we run away with Captain Rogar that we're also going to have to kidnap, and the train of the Mistral Archive that technically belongs to the city and just go rogue? Is that what you're saying?
All I asked was to stop the train.
Why?
So I can have time to just tell you why.
You have 6.5, 7 hours to explain.
And we're going where we don't want to go.
You're spending a lot more time.
And you're saying you don't want to go back to the Harker Nation or the city of Ire at least. You're saying we need to go rogue. Am I hearing? He looks around. He's like, "Where's everyone? I can't be the only one." Hi, Bridget. Did you hear that?
Bridget, did you hear what I heard?
I heard they wanted to steal it.
Jesus Christ! Don't stick up on me.
When we I saw you briefly at with Bahamut.
Oh yeah, I just popped in to say hi and then I was brought back.
Oh, so you didn't get to... Bahamut didn't tell you anything?
Not anything new. You told me the first time. You didn't tell me anything on the second or third time.
Wow, okay. I'm gonna go that way. You guys have fun with that package. Oh, you want me to hold on to it like that last time?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd point out, Gideon, that we're on a train, and trains go where the tracks go.
There's a lot of connecting courses before we
Can't
get
really
to
go back the way we came.
No, but there's
other
like
tracks I'm sure we can go on. Wouldn't it make sense, Ozzy, to stop the train or at least slow the train down so you can do an inspection to make sure the train's not going to fall apart before we get where we're going?
The train is barely holding together. I've already looked it over. Honestly, we need to go back to home base.
So we should go. We should continue at speed then, is what you're saying, because it's barely holding together.
I'm saying that we can't do immediate braking action or acceleration action because it would probably tear the train apart.
How?
So if we're good.
You still haven't given us a reason.
I'm also very confused.
Look, I'm just saying, anything that we do, it has to be gradual.
All right.
Which is why I don't want to slow down the train, because it's going to take forever to get back up to speed.
Right. It's going to take forever to slow it down too.
Also, point for me for overdoing the material purchases and putting it into the train. I told them that something like this would happen.
So, can anyone here on this
Please
train...
continue the dragging the...
Can anyone here on... I'm just standing next to him, letting him drag it.
Yeah, he's just falling like for sparks and everything. Screech!
Can anyone on this train tell us what we have right here?
We're all over here.
I'm not here.
I'm like.
Ozzy speaks up and stuff like that. No, what? Fuck it. You know what? Everyone at the bar?
Bar!
Where?
We smash cut to the bar. Everyone's in the bar.
What about the two that aren't...
I already hog-tied them, and you notice that they're like dangling from the ceiling, fully wrapped up in netting wire.
Can somebody move me to the bar?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they're not in the train engine area. They're in the exploded cart region.
Ozzy isn't there.
Everyone went to the bar.
Everyone smash cut to the bar. The prisoners, apart from the paladin that is currently...
Do we want him in the bar too? Then
yeah, sure, put him in the bar. You don't have to pull
the weapons still there?
Guys, remember, this is now theatric. You don't have to worry about it unless I bring it up.
That's true.
So you don't have to look at the train and stuff like that and stuff like for that kind of stuff. But Ozzy, Captain Rogard, still in his enlarged state, has taken a couple of wine bottles and like scored with his talon around it and then boop, and hits the top just right so that he creates a nice large sipping glass for him in his enlarged state and starts just drinking. Hey guys, how you doing? I'm glad you're not dead. No one dead. No one dead? You look freaked out. You look good. Give it here. Gives a little finger high five. Yeah. How you doing? I really appreciate that you didn't sell me out. Ditto's on you. Honestly, I was a little come and go, especially with this guy yapping away.
Well, you know,
He does that.
Question.
you gotta be practical.
And you know, I'm pretty practical. Straight up, if you decided to go with them, I would have gone down with the ship. This whole bar would have just exploded with a bunch of fire.
Yeah, I'm glad you held off on that, because I like being unexploded.
Me too. But then again, I did explode with Ozzy's. Wow. I'm glad that guy had good armor on him. And he's pointing to the dead guy sizzling in the corner. I'm like, that guy had good armor because I would have died. I mean,
Why do they want you dead?
Why does anyone want leaders dead?
Fair enough.
Apparently, I have information, or probably have information, involving these guys. And he points at the pretend guards. Most of the bodies are gone, but the string up guys over there and the paladin nut jobs over here. Apparently, they're doing shenanigans. I don't know what, but I already told you that they plan to do something in the city of Ar through the things of the evil monologue. Who's in charge? I don't know. Is it within the Mistral Archive? Probably, because a lot of things are happening, including, I don't think I said it last time, but the cargo that I had that was delivered for the operation in order to check the place out originally before the train went pooey by these assholes. These exact assholes, by the way. They were filled with undead. Mm-hmm. Not with materials that we needed. That was not fun to find out. It was like a jack in a box of just terror.
Someone orchestrated something. A lot of work went through that.
No shit.
So somebody wants you dead who has a big motive of what you know or what you can do.
Alright. Then let's start putting together what we know before we make it to the Mistral Archive that's potentially compromised. How far it's compromised, I don't know.
And we're carrying something on this train that we brought from the Mistral Archives that I have a feeling is what they were trying to capture at the Mistral Archives.
Didn't they straight up say that?
Yeah, they
wanted-
absolutely just said they were after it. They were trying to. The guy was trying to toss it out the window, and then he hurt his back.
Oh,
it was hilarious.
That thing? It's not even that heavy. Oh, wow, that is heavy. And he's still picking it up because to him, as large say, it's 50 pounds. Like, oh, shit.
They're going to try again.
Sure.
And we need to find out what this thing is, what it does.
Well, I will say, as a person that is, a little proficient in security personnel and resource management, in terms of, like, fighting forces and repelling forces, right? And I actually had military experience as a captain, which is why, a lot of people refer to me as captain. But I digress. You just did a relatively crippling blow for their, this is a little more than a scouting force. It's not like a basic bare bones scouting force, but it is a intermediate scout force that you just took care of. Having that high inquisitor, now I was not looking forward to him punching my head like he did with you. Wow, and by the way, I have to give it to you, by the way. He puts his fist up. That is the size of your body right now. You surviving that is truly impressive. I don't want to tell about this guy.
Sure. Yes, that's what I did.
You're standing here,
is what we
right?
did.
I mean, the potion brought you back, yes, in terms of, like,
I know.
healing your face, and I'm glad your jawline is still intact. Anyways, where was I going? Oh, yes, they're not going to be assaulting us for a good while, and not on the same train.
Actually, I have maybe not that. When we were at the archives when the attack happened, the military showed up with surprising
10
response
minutes
time.
during the mana store.
Did you mention that? I think you mentioned
I don't know if I mentioned that before. I've said a lot of things, some of which are true. And this one, in particular.
No, I remember you saying something like that. In 10 minutes response time during a mana storm, you said?
Yeah.
Titans.
Yeah,
With Titans, yeah.
This is
Oh,
why-
with Titans.
This is
So
why-
hold on, they responded with actual. That means that they had information that something was going to happen.
And soon.
Oh, great! So the military's part of this. Great. I have a couple of military connections that I can start talking up. Those I trust. I kind of trust you guys because you helped me out on the pickle and got me revenge pretty much day one. You're cool in my book.
Nothing.
But I have a couple of connections in the military world itself, even though I'm retired, But, you keep those connections. I can contact to see what's going on and if they know anything, if you guys want to. Now, I know this is a bit of a above your pay grade kind of situation. I will make sure, after we're arrested, I will make sure that you are compensated accordingly for rescuing me and repelling a clearly disgruntled group of Nelduels.
Where
Why would we?
do we know? Question to the DM. Do we know again the nation the these extremists.
Well,
Came from.
here's the thing. You recognize the like paladins and the war clerics and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That fella right there is from my country.
Which is from where?
Valerian theocracy. It's in the southwest.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. He's pretty far, actually.
It's real far. It's a long
As far as
train
I'm
rides
aware,
over
they don't have any. They're one of the few countries of the landmass of Entrin that does not have a railway system that leads from them to us.
That's correct.
So that's a lot of effort just to get here.
Breathe.
Or magic,
And-
apparently.
Hmm?
Or magic, apparently.
Or magic, sure. There's always like teleportation, something like that. But they don't really like the arcane. They like divination and stuff like that. So even arcane-based teleportations, they say they want to know like swords and charge at the front line. Don't worry, men. The ranged projectiles of enemy bullets will not pierce the hide of your faith or something like that. I don't know.
Nut jobs.
It's a good thing that we are not bordering nations, but they did not hide the disdain and their point of view of what they view Warforged or Forgelings in terms of constructs that claim to have a soul and stuff like that. So, but this is, of course, after. I mean, we made the nation made contact. I don't know, several hundred years ago. So it's not like new information.
Why would we get arrested, though?
This is,
Why
this,
would we be arrested?
It's normal due process and procedures. If you come in, I'm assuming after, because everything got locked down on the Mr. Archive, right? Mm-hmm. Knowing Rushborn, you guys left without the permissions of the ruling government of Ire.
Do you really think he was in on it? Like they said? I don't think so.
Once a liar, always a liar.
I mean, well,
But he wasn't a
okay,
liar.
first of all, that subject about if you lie once, you're always a liar kind of situation. There are times when you need to lie. As a person that handles security, there are times you need to lie and not tell the truth. So, besides I got my heads with Rustborn. Periodically, a lot of times, especially when it comes to paperwork. What he did to send you to save me, saved my life, but is the reason why I get angry with him because he doesn't do paperwork. And sometimes he doesn't even communicate. It's very annoying. But he has a good head on his shoulders. I trust him. As about as I can trust a mate not to push me off a ledge kind of situation. Actually, a little bit more. No, we've he's got a good heart. I mean, he doesn't. He definitely has a harsh first meet new person, and he wants to see if you have a spine. Once you show you have a spine, you're good.
What shop?
Yes, with the cat, right? Yeah. I'm aware. That's probably why he didn't give you any guff. You got him up. You got him up. That's why you wear the cloak.
wear the cloak?
Yeah, the cloak I gave you.
Oh,
My cloak.
but I didn't put it on
That's your business, mate.
because as I felt, don't take offense at this, but I felt that it probably wasn't, it doesn't have clean magic in it.
What's clean magic?
Something that doesn't have a dark magic attached to it.
Yes, that thing does have a little bit of a spirit to it. But as long as you are a friend to my family name, which you are, it will not harm you.
Very well. This is where, and good. Well,
I mean,
I'm
if you can't get into the friend category after saving me from the undead, saving me from these asshole, and he points to the bodies and stuff like that, and also saving one of my personal friend coworkers,
very good.
I think that would be a bit of an asshole thing on my part if I didn't call you a decent friend.
Then, as a friend, might I paint a picture?
Sure, go ahead.
So, we all Travelers 7, who we have now apparently dubbed ourselves as the Seven's Wild, because we are definitely a wild bunch,
Right.
especially that one. We arrive in the city of Ire.
Yeah.
It gets attacked the moment we arrive. It
First of all,
They-
I
they-
already had suffered one attack.
and they were trying to, and then they attacked the Mistral archives. They appear not to succeed. You have been taken hostage at some point, or destroyed on the train.
Attempt of murder twice.
Right. And
First
why,
one was the exploding train with the undead. The second one was now.
And why were you leaving the city? Why were you conveniently leaving at this time?
Oh, I didn't explain that? I was sent orders from the upper management that there was a security problem.
Now we have it. Here's the picture I'm painting.
Mm-hmm.
The security arrived within minutes of like they knew something was up.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm thinking. And now we're going to be presumably arrested under standard protocol.
Which is standard protocol as a part of the leading security
I'm
personnel.
sure of it. I'm sure of it. And they know that. I'm not sure that you can trust anyone at your in your government.
Okay.
Particularly when that is sitting in here.
And what is that?
Yeah.
We don't even know what it is.
Shiny.
However, can I have a moment with you?
Yes.
I pull Bridget aside.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We need to talk.
You grappling hook to the other side of the exploded.
Morgan's gonna be fishing stuff out of the cabinet, just be like, "Oh my god!" the medical thing is like, "This really hurts." Oh my
Egger's just
god!
gonna walk around and be like,
And
"It's
before
okay."
you guys have a moment to speak to yourselves, Captain Rogar immediately speaks to the rest of you. First of all, I am not comfortable saying that everyone in the city of Ire is against us. That's saying that the entire nation is corrupt and stuff like that. There is corruption, but I adamantly refuse to believe that everyone is against us. I will identify that there are multiple groups in play, but how much they are working together, that is yet to be discerned. They are working together, but what is their individual goals? As
It seems
apparent,
loose,
two
very
immediate
loose
different factions are in play here. And who's the one that's causing the communications of Mr. Archive?
And we go to save your ass. Pardon. I don't mean it in a bad way.
But
And we bring to them what they are looking for. We actually brought it on the train here, and they know that we were coming to save you. Who sent us to save you?
first of all, okay. Let's say we don't go back. What then? Where do we go? If we say we can't trust nobody,
Would you trust?
we will make immediate enemies. We will become wanted criminals.
You are Dragonkin.
Dragonborn, yes, I am. It's a whole history thing, but yes, go ahead.
Have you ever spoken to or had speakings with the dragon god Bahamut?
No, because I don't pray to him.
Okay, very good. Neither did I.
Okay.
But moments ago, after I was struck down, I was. You sure Bahamut didn't tell you anything?
He told me to find other people like me. Watch.
Bright light off the bat.
I just gotta find other people that touch this thing and then go.
I haven't
Light
touched.
Here, let me try.
I haven't.
Grabs it. Nope, nothing.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give
Wait,
it back to
hold
you.
on.
I'm just gonna put it on the bar because
Alright.
bright light.
I haven't tried it yet.
Make a strength saving throw.
This is not going to go well.
I gotta stop handing it to people. I gotta let them touch it before I just hand it to them.
So start handing it to everybody. And
It's
everybody's
like, oh, you
"Here,
want
catch."
to just overhand
8.
throw that?
Hey, it lands on your foot. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Son of a bitch. And I go down. No.
That looked painful.
Sorry.
But did it work? Does he go?
Apparently.
No light, no nothing. It looks like it weighs 50 pounds. to him.
Sorry.
All right.
Should all touch?
So,
I'll touch. Here we.
Ozzy puts his hand on it.
Bahamut,
Oh, he doesn't put it on his foot.
Bahamut,
We gotta roll.
I am
Not unless you're trying to pick it up.
that
Not yet.
that paladin that apparently struck me with his fist.
Yeah. It looks
He
painful.
struck me down to the point of death. Bahamut appeared before me and told me that can never make it into the hands of a government. And that
Okay.
Oh.
clarification. All right, so that's easier to do. First of all, the Mystical Archive is not connected or affiliated. Well, they work with sometimes, but they're an independent company.
Not government.
They're not government. We're a museum and auction house. So the Mystical Archive is not the government of Harcourt. It's not part of the government body. Did Bahamut say why? Assuming I believe you. I don't doubt you had a religious experience.
I was in the middle of asking those types of questions when I was thrust back before I could get all my questions.
Oh, with the potion? Oh, I'm sorry, mate.
So what happened when I was brought in for the first time and he touched this thing and killed me? Well, killed a lot of me.
Okay, I'm not going to touch this thing anymore, so apparently
No, it's fine now, I think. I don't know.
How many people die touches this thing?
A lot. A very, very
Look,
large
I
amount.
died and I hadn't touched it before till just now.
Well, we got a whiteboard.
Suddenly, like,
Scooted on over.
No,
There's
it's
a
like the
whiteboard on the board
cartoon where
now.
they just jerk their hand down suddenly.
There's a chalkboard now, yeah.
So we got all this and then bring it down and just rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and it's just bunnies.
Stick
So
figure
these are
drawings.
all me.
You need a pastime.
Different kinds of me. I don't really get it. Tiny, whiny, ball of whatever. But then Bahamut stopped before me, and I think another one didn't die. That was neat. Cool.
So this
do
is a
that.
lot of Bahamut central religion stuff.
Yes.
Bahamut doesn't do time stuff. Anyway.
Does not do time stuff. But the thingy maboot here, was originally a time thing. He said some other golden lizard asshole made it at one point.
what do you mean for?
And
could
then he
be
fiddled with it
anyone.
to make it do something else.
Let's be honest here.
To
We
be
all
fair, I
know.
didn't name that lizard asshole.
But we all knew.
However, we don't know.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm not
we
part of
might
the
know,
conversation.
but
I'm entertaining
we
myself.
don't know.
But he stopped it from doing this timey-wimey shenanigans, and now it looks for people that shine like I do, because I have a mark on my back.
So I need a persuasion roll from both of you since you're leading the conversations. Because this sounds batshit.
Crazy.
It does, yes.
It sounds like religious nut jobs.
Exactly.
All right, I'm about to get retired.
Lord,
I think I used up all
protector.
my 20s last
That-
game.
I got
Let
15.
Bahamut into your life today.
What am I doing?
What is
to-
it?
15.
15? Okay, not bad. Not worse.
Persuasion roll?
Yes.
Yeah, I rolled a 3, which gives me an 8.
Dude, you're a sorcerer with persuasion out of the wazoo. You gotta stop rolling threes. Anyway,
No.
so with the combined effort, he leans over more towards Bridget and goes, "Look, I'm not gonna call you straight up crazy. However, you have to understand that both of you just came from very traumatic experiences of almost dying. Usually, that can lead to a lot of mental anguish. I'm not saying that you don't believe that it is true what you say, but you have to understand that there are also a lot of nefarious forces that feed on that desperate survival instinct energies. Okay?
She saw Bahamut too.
Oh, now you're in?
No, but I did.
I saw you there.
I know. But yes, but he is not. I am not religious. I don't rock with him in any kind of a way yet at this point. But yeah, when I did go down, I did get plucked up, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And sent
Oh,
me
so
back.
you met Bahamut.
Kind
So
of.
can you vouch that
They were both there. Yes.
that they were both there? So,
Yes.
okay. That kind of, okay, so, alright. So maybe Bahamut is part of this. But again, you are, with all due respects, going a load of cray-cray. That's a scientific term, by the way. It's in a book. You can read it.
Cray cray.
And you're telling me to not go back to my home city where my daughter and wife live.
No, I'm saying.
Then
don't-
what
no,
are you saying?
saying? We don't bring that back.
Okay, so we chuck it out a window.
I have to
They
keep
wanted
that,
to do
actually.
that, though. I'm not here.
I have to keep that.
No, you're there. You're at the bar.
Yeah, yeah.
We're all
Let's-
at the bar.
We're all poor.
Unless you don't want to be
But
at the
again,
bar.
if it's not the government, then that's not going against what was asked. If we're taking it,
He actually asked me to take it somewhere.
Oh, did he now?
well, that's a piece of information you could have shared the
Start
first time.
with-
Maybe you should have led with that.
Gideon.
I mean, give the man a break. He did just have his head punched all the way in.
No, you were really.
It was like a pest dispenser. It was-
I don't need to relive
Ozzy, you see, you catch Ozzy currently looking up and seeing like a perfect like outline of your face in the ceiling.
I mean, but we also died, so it's
That's
just
there forever now.
leading with the correct information for people to listen. But continue.
The three of us could have remained in that realm. But Bahamut sent us back.
I don't think I counted. I think he just flipped me off after bringing me back. Like, what's up? And then I didn't get to stay there very long. I don't think I
Okay,
belong
I'm
there.
I think you put that on a
By
t-shirt
the
got
way-
flipped by a god.
By the way, I want to make sure the people who are tied up are not in this room and never have
They're
been.
over there. We can't really close the door, but actually no, we can't close the door, but the walls are gone.
Balls aren't very helpful in that regard.
Right. I want to make sure we're not having a conversation loud enough that they can hear.
Between the train moving, the wind, and
Okay.
the tracks, and they're definitely not able to hear us. Right, Ozzy? Oh yeah. You said no to ear bleeding, right? Ozzy, we can't do war crimes these days nowadays. There's.
I ain't speaking for
All
myself.
evidence to the
It
contrary.
can only be a war crime if you're at war.
Does this train?
More like the Geneva suggestion.
Ozzy,
This guy gets it.
just Ozzy,
Hey, warring
just
sign is more of a
hypothetical.
suggestion.
Yeah, what's up?
Hypothetical.
Yeah?
Does this train even have a track that connects anywhere close to Lighthouse Hollow?
Yes. There's plenty of tracks and connecting hubs so that you can go to different locations and change where you're going and stuff like that, but that's a long trek. That's going outside of the nation Harkern. That is going, I don't know which nation it is, but because there's a lot of fragmented stuff between us and that area that's next to the Dwarven Kingdom, the Thum Tarum or something like that. And not quite towards the Emmer Coast. I don't think it's part of their territory. But their territories shift every now and then because they're less than organized nations. But anyway, but yeah, it's in between them and us kind of situation. It's going outside of the nation, and I don't think our train. No, he does a quick little bit of that math.
I know.
We do not have the resources to go that far.
Echo gestures to the missing part of the train.
Well,
Repair.
that alone. I'm talking about fuel. The elements of-
Repairs.
yeah, and repairs. Yes.
I'm hungry.
Well, there's prisoners.
Oh yeah, we could. What? Captain Rogar's like, wait, we got prisoners. We can interrogate them. We got 6.5 hours with these puppies.
I will defer that to you.
It's true.
Well, I can't really get over there. I'm a little big right now.
All
I
right.
can bring them to you.
Ooh.
Well,
Scary.
all I can leave you with this is that we have something that we don't understand. That nations are willing to go through great lengths to get, or remove, or for all we know, they were trying to throw it out because they know where they'd be able to collect it again.
So if they were trying to throw it out of the train, it would indicate that they're trying to get it before the Mistral Archive does.
Yes.
So it's okay to go back to the Mistral Archive.
Oh.
On that logic, if that logic is sound.
Logic is logicking.
That doesn't mean that we can't move it later. But we have the resources that
I
we
will
need.
make sure that the government, I will do my best to make sure that our government does not take it, partly out of, it's not theirs.
It's a object of
There are
state.
many different types of ruling nations, stuff like that, but the Hardcore Nation generally does not do this territory or this property or this object is ours, unless it's like a national threat kind of situation.
Hey, Ozzy, do you have the resources to throw something that looks like that together? Can you just make something that looks like that, and we can take that and give it to the archive? And...
Energy.
Okay, well, be frank, this thing used to be arcane and now it is doing celestial and strong celestial. Now, when I say strong celestial, it's stronger celestial radiance than when I identified it and it blinded me not a few hours ago.
Oh.
So,
They don't know that.
True, they don't know that, but at the same time, this artifact. Remember when I did the calculations? I redid the calculations when I wasn't blind, but yeah, it wasn't quite like I said something like 14-mile radius blast radius if it decided to go kablooey. It's technically it's bigger than that, but it's one of those situations of like the center of this thing can power the city itself.
It just has to look. We just need some time, right? It's like, oh, here's the artifact. We're giving it to you willingly, and then we fuck off with the real thing.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm saying.
can make something random, but it's definitely not with the equipment that I have.
It just has to look
Give it-
reasonably close.
Okay. With 6-hour notice. No! And I have to drive the train.
Doesn't have autopilot anymore?
I'm still working that out. It has about a 40% success chance.
So what about this? If we're talking about decoys, Bridget,
Oh yeah, minor illusion.
do you
So-
think you could maybe pray to your patron and see if he might be able to help you move the energy into something else, so that we can carry it something that nobody else expects, so we can carry it, right? Something small, and then maybe do a little trickery on the original thing to make people think that that's what we're giving them, even though what we have is the real thing.
Scam?
Yes,
Okay.
but a
You're
godly
learning.
scam.
Questionable.
Questionable's best.
In this case, yes.
Questionable.
Extremely.
Friend?
Yes.
I don't know.
Where is the information?
It's a good friend to have.
I'm
Echo's just sitting on the bar with her little
I mean,
with a typewriter in her
could
lap,
we
just
do that?
pressing on the key.
Sure,
Not
I can
typing,
always
just
pray.
like
It's just DM
she's
is digging
looking
through
like
some
she
stuff,
wants
and I
to
wanna give
type,
God
but
some
just
time.
sitting there.
It's true.
Thank you kindly for that. Sorry about that. I'm
Sorry, it
looking
was a bit of an off the wall idea, but just a thought.
No.
When I started learning about D&D, I always wondered why clerics didn't just start asking gods for help.
Right.
You know?
Well, the problem is when every single follower of that god starts asking at the same time, it gets a little hard to listen.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of prime birds right here that you fed already, but they want more.
I'm just in the meantime, Morgan's just gonna sit on the floor and start kind of patching herself up because she got kind of messed up. She lost over half hit points, so. Yep, good times.
We're doing a short rest and whatnot.
There we go. This is what I was looking for. Sorry about that. I was trying to find the bits of information that just came up in my head, and I wanted to make sure I was accurate if I needed to describe it. Anyway, so what's going on?
Looking to ask Bahamut for an easier way to carry and hide this thing.
So basically, the idea.
You want it shrunk. You want a
Well,
mini version of the MacGuffin?
No. So what my thought is that to get him to help transfer whatever the energy is, because obviously it belongs to him, into something smaller for us to carry,
I think
so
the
that we
energy
can
is what's keeping
hand,
the thing from exploding.
but so that we can hand this like inert, worthless now worthless once he helps us thing to make them think that that's what they had while we actually have the real thing in a disguise.
Switch
kind
the
of.
device.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a
Oh.
religion check.
Can I ask Bahamut to do a ball and a cup maneuver? It's just-
No, just to make it so that we have the real thing concealed and that we can satisfy what we need to satisfy.
I
by
hear
giving
what
the
you're
thing
trying
back.
to say.
Should I try and do like I'm a smuggler? Should I see if I know any smuggling tricks to like obviously
Okay,
like swapping
so-
devices is
So you're gonna roll a Arcana check while you make a religion
Him
check.
or- okay.
okay. Well, this is gonna go super good.
Yeah,
I got 18 for religion.
18.
Remember to ask Bahamut to cup the balls.
What do you say, religion?
Turn
We've
to
done a
cough.
lot of
Arcana.
fall cupping.
Oh, Arcana.
Turn to cough.
14.
14. Okay. So right off the bat, you know powerful artifacts, right? First of all, it's about as big as a soccer ball, right? In terms of artifacts of immense power that it has, that is able to power a city, that is pretty tiny by itself. What it was meant for originally, you have no idea. And you can see clear changes to what it was originally as the short time you saw it before it got touched by divinity. The celestial runes that are going across it are definitely not arcane in nature. It is powerful draconic radiance that is now pulsing through this D12 dice-shaped individual thing that has a central orb that seems to be moving around, kind of thing, but moves towards the closest individual at the moment, but never leaves the shell of the device. To transfer over an artifact-level piece of equipment is unheard of. Like, let's say the equivalent. You're trying to transfer a legendary-based artifact of a sword to another sword.
No, I was just trying to see if I knew any smuggling tricks to bait and switch it.
But that's
Debate and switch it?
Yeah,
What
it's
do you
like-
mean by bait and switch it?
It's like, so they think they're getting the thing that they want, and we give
if,
them
okay.
we
if
give
you
them
had,
something.
If you had infinite amount of resources and time, absolutely. But right now you're on a train moving back.
but that's why we're asking for God.
Yeah, and okay,
level
so
help.
your religion and stuff like that. This is before you even pray and stuff like that. Bahamut, you know right off the bat, is a lesser deity in terms of the pantheon scale. To have the god literally change a powerful artifact that is also attuned to another lesser deity takes a huge amount of celestial intervention. It takes a lot of power.
Yeah.
If he already did that and supposedly intervened in helping you against the paladins, as this guy has said, you're asking a lot.
Yeah.
You're asking basically God to solve all your problems.
Okay.
I mean, it's worth an ask, right? If he said we can't let it go back.
There's a golden kobold.
It's always worth an
somewhere,
ask.
like a couch cooking.
I mean, I don't. Hold on. Yeah, I don't. I mean,
I
don't
know it's here.
I mean, I would be willing to ask
when
with
is it
you
here?
to lend some. If I can.
Ah!
No, I don't have any religion, to speak of. But I can definitely join in the ask for help if that needs.
Would
to
you
be.
like to go down and start praying?
I will with her if she asks me to.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm just looking at her because like I'll add the energy to it. I don't know the words, but I'll add the energy to the
Please
ask.
also never say that again.
Work
Go
out.
down to start
When
praying.
would you like to go down and start
Mm-hmm.
praying? Please never say it again.
It was bad when
Girl, are you the Tower of Babel? Because you are stacked in defiance of God, and I cannot speak coherently when you go down.
Wow.
That's just. Yeah.
I'm just horny right now.
What you gonna say?
How would you like to ask, and what do you say for this prayer to Bahamut? And I'm going to ask both of you to answer this, unless you're just helping her.
I'm going to lend energy to it. I don't know what words to say because he's not my god.
I guess what are we asking exactly? So I don't muddle this.
Oh my god.
Basically to if he has asked Gideon to not give this thing to people,
Mhm.
right? He wants to give it to someone else. So if he can assist us with, I don't know, like putting whatever energy, help us make it into something smaller so we can give a fake and inert device to them to think that they're getting what they want, but we still keep the real thing. So if it's creating a fake one, like do
I
whatever we
don't
need to do.
think that prayer is gonna work.
I don't know exactly. Like that's the idea. However they want to say it, that is the idea. I'm just giving the suggestion. I'm not saying what to say. The words are yours.
I'd like to pray for guidance.
What do you say for this prayer of guidance? For
Yeah.
what?
You gave me kind of some bare bones instructions here, which I appreciate. I love that. But then you gave somebody else instructions, and now I'm kind of crosswired here. What exactly do you need here, buddy?
Make a religion check.
Another 18.
Another 18. So as you're praying, you're also doing the thing of religion. You feel that Bahamut is watching you, or is present, or an aspect of him is. To demand the entire being of the aspect that is a god, no doubtedly, two things pop up in your mind right away, and this is just the knowledge of the world. The first is that Vilmara, as a planet, the gods do not walk among you anymore. There are no avatars. There are no aspects of divinity on physical planet of Vilmara, because there was a huge event that caused, forced, and told all divinity that they are leaving this planet. And that's where the knowledge of the three primes came into being. What these three primes are, no idea. That goes into the history, not the history, the study of religion and the origins of gods and where they get their power from. And there's the argument of they get all gods share their powers from a source. Perhaps these three that require no prayer, no worship, no religion, no symbol, no imagery that gods have to use to stay alive, these three do not use it. And they're more powerful than all of gods that dwelled on Vilmara, and there are a lot of them. And now they can only send messengers and do minor miracles. What you're asking, whether Bahamut wanted the help or not, is far greater than he could ever give.
So no.
You do notice that the orb is very shiny at the center of this. You can
It's so
actually
pretty.
easily quite put your hand inside of it if you wanted and try to grasp it.
Shiny.
Yeah, it looks like a little firefly on the inside. It's very enticing.
That
No. No.
You do that?
Oh God.
Your hand grasps something, immediately your fur erupts in bluish flames. Your eyes go white, your back lights up. You go into the trance and you see several visions. Go and make a wisdom saving throw.
It's like a dog seeing some like food on the ground. It's
I
like,
don't know
no.
if you knew how I grabbed this in the first place. It's because it was so shiny and I was going to drop on the floor. It's like, oh! 19.
19. I have to say, I do love you. You just, I gave her the basic description of like, you shouldn't do this, but you're going to do this.
You gave me the
And
orb that the god gave me that I
you
just asked for
for
help.
this. I love you
I'm
for
going
this.
to touch it.
Yeah. Okay. So, what was your wisdom saving throw?
19.
19? Pretty good. You do. So you see several images fly through, as if like 6 images are being overlapped on each other at the same time. It's a lot of information. This thing is the media thing that you notice that this thing has a lot of information. So much information, too much information, just information packed on the packed on the packed, and you start to see images of people taking oaths as they take a knee in front of an image. You start to see people praise the name of Bahamut. They're seeing individuals that are praying at churches to save them from the terrible times of devil or demon kin and other sieges of mankind's own making and sorrow. Those that are praying so that they have a full belly and so on and so forth, and praying for justice, revenge, and order. But the revenge is not what sticks to you. How much do you... Before I continue, would you consider Bridget a studied individuals in the tenets of Bahamut? Be honest to your backstory.
No.
No? Okay.
I kind of like know the guidelines, like protect the weak and destroy evil.
And destroy evil. Okay. Protect the weak and destroy the evil. Seek out justice and burn the soil of evil kind of situation. And you know, I'm going to say you at least know the symbol of Bahamut. At least the one that is very publicized and stuff like that, because there's not just one image. An image that sticks out to you with that 19 wisdom saving throw, going to make a religion check with advantage.
15.
15? Okay, not the worst. And are you proficient in religion?
Yes.
Okay. That will lower the DC, because if you're proficient in something, you've studied it and you've seen it more than others. Expertise would also lead to different routes as well. Either way, you see a particular image that a lot of them have used. You see an image that is basically a circular image that has a dragon, a Bahamut on the left, and a sword on the right that has the weight
Scales.
scales. Yes, and each the left side of the scale has a scaly wing, and the right side had blue flames. This is a very traditional one about the Bahamut of the, basically, it means many different things. There's a lot of it, but the scales of justice is a very symbolic term for a lot of justice-based gods. And you've always been raised that the wings of justice must be sacrificed for the right and to purge evil. In this symbolic imagery, as these are flying by, seeing the 7 stars, the 7 golden finches, Bahamut, and then this image with the with the scales surrounded by 7 stars of Bahamut on the left with a single tier of silver. The flame and it's a subtle change, but you know for a fact that the wings that you've been shown throughout your entire lifetime, the wing is up and the fire is down, indicating the purification of flame is more important. This one's reversed. And the images begin to fade away to nothing but white before you gently and warmly release from the orb with a bunch of new information that you kind of processed. But it's you get right off the bat that there's a lot of information here. And the problem about that is that it's trying to tell you all the information at once.
I'm gonna go lay down.
Everyone else on the bright light. Bridget kind of lets go and just turns around. I'm going to take a nap. So what was that? Says Captain Rogart. Any explanation? Did you die again?
I don't think so.
Would that help?
Ooh.
True. You haven't met your god unless you're near death. God, that's morbid.
No thanks.
Yeah,
Probably
no.
shouldn't play with that one.
Let's not entertain the ideology of meet your maker being literal.
Yes, I would prefer not to do that again in the near future myself. It was
So, I don't know what that was, but...
Echoes.
Bridget, before you take a nap, do you want to explain anything that just happened?
I think the orb has a pile of information in it.
Okay, like a book?
Nice.
A book with all of them in it, maybe.
Alright, so...
Oh, what? All of it?
All of other books.
Overwhelming.
Lied.
Do we have to pick it up, the orb up, for it to do something? Can we just touch it?
All you saw that Bridget did was put her hand at the center of it because it's an outline of a D12, right? Like this.
Well,
but
right,
that
but
center part, you can put your hand into it, and she
What's it
grasps it.
different?
Not into it, but like I know to see if it worked for anybody if we were just touching it, right? Do we have to
If you're
touch
touching it, it doesn't, like, your hand's not far enough into it to grasp the light.
No, I wasn't gonna do that. I was just gonna see.
Oh,
Yeah,
keep low.
you touch
Yeah.
it.
Okay, do I roll for it or do I not roll for it?
Are you trying to pick it up?
I mean, that's what I'm asking. Do we have to pick it up, or can we just touch it?
She just touches it physically, and she lights up.
Okay.
And it doesn't weigh, like, 50 pounds because of that.
Do we just touch it to see if I
Yeah.
light up or not?
Sure, you touch it. You don't have to roll a damn thing.
Touch the shiny thing. Touch the shiny thing.
You don't feel a damn thing.
Aw.
We all touch?
Yeah, everybody did, I think, and nobody
Look,
did.
I heard that people have died touching this thing. I'm not touching the fucking.
Yes, we all need to sit around it and hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Sarcasm.
Okay,
I'm
no.
just gonna process. No,
Band-aids on, I'm like drinking. He drinks. Drink now.
Short rest.
If you guys want to take a short rest, you can definitely take a short rest. But
I actually wanted to ask you something.
to Captain Rogar,
Yes, Captain Rogar.
right?
So we've kind of gone back and forth on Mistress Valkyria here, right?
Yeah.
Like she's been nice to me, in terms of like not hassling me when she pays me.
You are a person that accepts payments from her.
Of course, I accept payments from anybody who's reasonable. I'll accept payments from you if you want.
All right, so you're one of those crew. All right, go ahead.
Right. Well, stuff makes the world go round.
Stuff makes the world go round.
Look, if you, we're not going to get into the semantics of money. she's a drow. We don't see too many of those. We're in the Underdark.
Yeah.
Drow, generically, also in the Underdark.
Yes.
Dudes are trying to throw the thing out of the window in the Underdark.
Are you saying that the drow are connected in some way or form?
Well, I'm saying that there's a giant train system plowing its way through the Underdark.
Yeah.
And historically, at least, the drow were not super friendly with anyone doing that sort of thing.
Oh,
Granted, that's
yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
but it's not like they are a short-lived species that are known for forgiving.
That's
They do have
fair.
elven blood in
Is
them.
it
so
possible?
Hey, what?
I mean, these extremists...
Drow are elven, like, subbreed, yeah.
Right.
A lot, if you believe the studies.
Of what?
The papers of Harkonnen and stuff like that. There's a lot of studies out there. They said that actually my race are not actually fully like blood relatives of draconic kin, which is an uproar and stuff like that. But you know,
Well, you just said something about they have elven blood. What does that mean?
Well, they're elves.
Well, obviously, but what is the transference that we're discussing here that we are all?
I feel like I've walked into a trap and I need out.
Sorry, let me circle back. Oh, I hate saying that.
I need help.
I've been
Help.
around too many corporates. Sorry. so also those the saboteurs blowing the train up guys. We're talking about somebody bleeding their nation.
They kept screaming residual, didn't they?
Wait.
And all I'm saying.
The city of the city that we just came from,
Fire.
city of Ire,
Yeah.
is actively tapping into the elemental energies,
Deep into the Underdark,
which I
actually.
think is what they're referring to.
Oh, good call.
We didn't ask what race are the saboteurs.
Mostly, well, they're humanoid to say this. So, there's 2 humans and a half-elf.
So, if we have an unspecified group of extremists trying to blow up Ire, we have a drow of questionable allegiance.
But you repeat yourself.
Yes.
Fair enough. And then Ire just sitting on top of it.
So you're saying that something to do with the refinery process that is going through the Underdark, which...
Too
Yeah.
far to assume.
I'm
We are taking something else, someone else's.
No.
And blowing up a city like Ire certainly makes a point.
Well, considering the elemental energy is being taken specifically.
So what are you saying about the refinery and blowing up the city?
Well, I'm just saying
Stop the
that,
refinery.
like, everyone thinks of themselves as the protagonist. Like, I'm the good guy. But,
I think I'm a good guy. Ozzy's like, I know I'm a good guy.
yeah, you...
Questionable.
Oh, bromance.
But yeah, so, the Mr. Archive, I'm in no position to judge. But, their flow of money does not come from being upstanding purveyors of quality education for the youths.
Continue about these youths.
We're not talking about youths.
You brought it up.
I'm just saying that the museum isn't how the archive makes their money.
No.
The archive makes their money by selling illegal things to rich people. Often things that have been taken from people who may not have wanted them taken. And given
Why
to
am I
people
not
like her
surprised?
parents.
Why am
What?
I not surprised?
Yeah.
Her parents aside, and with all due respect. Oh, wait. No.
You don't need to respect me, it's fine. I'd
So,
prefer it if you didn't.
What is the point that you're making?
I knew when I started this conversation.
I feel like you've lost your
What I'm
your
saying
point here.
is...
It was derailed as the last train we were on.
Yeah.
Last train. I was derailed. You weren't.
We don't know what we're going into. We don't know who we can trust. Outside of this train, ostensibly.
Inside this train as well.
Well, that's true. Enough. But
Then who can we trust?
your
If we-
mother. Sorry.
Reflex.
Sorry, she came out.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So, anyways, I started blasting.
Since we were all attempted in being murdered, me twice, you once on the train,
But it's got.
No, he's gone.
it is safe to assume that everyone that is still living, apart from the tied up individuals, to be trustworthy within this group. We're not part of whatever this conspiracy is between that thing and the bunny and the alliance with the religious zealots and the extremists, right? We can't. This feels like it's bigger than all of us. We need to start making allies. I have contacts that I believe that are allies. But we can't just stay out here and do nothing. Well, we can. We could just ride the train into the distance until the railroads run out of room to be railroads.
Run out of fuel.
Let's
Run out
not
of fuel at that point, yeah.
I think the point I was trying to make is that there are potentially others that could be allies or enemies, depending very much on how we react to them, and that we are very likely to meet them sooner or later near the archive.
Okay.
And so, maybe it would be better, to Gideon's point, to take a side trip. Maybe not all the way to, the Amber Cities, because that's just asking to get robbed.
Yeah, that's no. There's a reason why the train tracks there are abandoned.
We don't have enough resources to go.
Well, no,
anywhere
just somewhere, so we are not underground.
There are several locations where the underrail system is not underground. It only becomes viable if we're going to like mountainous terrains or unviable, very hostile
I don't know
environments
about that.
above ground. So we go underground.
Are there any like satellite nations or satellite just any like stations above ground that we can go to that are not to the city of Ire?
Rustborn.
Hmm.
What about Rustborn?
Rustborn? I trust Rustborn. And frankly,
He survived a cannon
Rustborn
shot.
is pretty like do an action, then think about the next action kind of guy. He's not a person that has enough brain power in his head to do any
At the
like
very
major
least-
conspiracy stuff. This all screams mass planning.
Well, they know that we're heading
Between
back
the
at
cargo
some
being
point.
filled with the undead, on mine, with information for me to take guards that I was loyal to go away so that the Mr. Archive could be assaulted at the same time while they try to kill me. That's all mass collaboration.
Are we able to make it to Rose?
Oh, yeah, it would be pretty tight and stuff like that, but the main way to get to Rose is to go through Ire. So they would, through, communications of, train lines and stuff like that, they would know that we were there, and we'd already be flagged because one of our train carts is exploded open, so it would be reported based off the site when we pass the city of Ire underneath. Might as well just stop, get repairs, get refuels, and then go to the city of Rose.
Agreed.
Maybe we could pick up Rustborn on the way, but from there, I have a feeling I know where we can go.
Where's that?
Home.
Where's your home again?
No one knows where it is. You'll be the first ones to find out. That don't go there, but at least
I'm pretty sure that I know where the city of Rose is.
it's not Rose, it's beyond.
Okay, then why did we bring up Rose?
Because we have to go there first to stop and then go by overland to get there.
Is there some sort of LV toity
Well-
thing that you have to start from the place that you first found it so that you have to follow the track there kind of thing?
No, I know, it's just in the mountains, as it should be.
Oh, it's one of the pocket mountains. Oh, yeah, Harkern, it's not the entire region with all those mountains. There's plenty of pockets that we haven't discovered yet. Anyway,
But we could go there and at least.
That would be a little more secret.
I'm gonna go have a conversation with the people that have their blood rushing to their heads upside
That's
down.
if you get some answers.
I'll let you know if I learned anything juicy.
It'll be a safe place to sit try to figure this out and figure out what we're going to do.
But don't you have challenges with your family?
I'm not taking my family is not there.
Oh, all right.
Well, not most of them anymore. My parents aren't there, and those are the people we want to avoid. In fact, I have a feeling that they have their fingers
Eos,
in this.
where are you, if I may ask?
Sitting at the bar.
Oh, you're just sitting at the bar listening to all this?
Whiskey in hand.
Okay.
Are you comfortable with us taking something that is potentially very dangerous to your home?
Yeah,
Because
it's kind of what we do, but we're not. How should we say? Not the most typical group and community of elves, thanks to Mr. Man over here. So,
Oh, bad influence.
well, I think you didn't realize that you were giving them to us, but you're about to find out. So,
I gave what to who?
yes,
you armed
You're
a
terrible
bunch
at
of
lying, you know
elven
that.
rangers with rifles.
You were absolutely terrible at lying.
Confused,
I never
tired.
armed who? Oh, yeah, that. Sure.
Yeah, you got them, but you didn't know where they were going, and now I'm telling you, there's a whole elven ranger community.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that you've armed a bunch of... Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
I mean,
did.
that clearly is not the worst thing I've done.
No, but it's,
Categorically.
in this case, it's going to be
Your Honor,
helpful.
this is clearly not even on the list of the top 10. Why
No,
are we even
but
talking
the
about
point
it?
That was a Tuesday. Come on.
But the reason that I'm suggesting this is because it would be helpful. Because we're armed to the teeth, for one. But two, the elders there might be able to tell us what this is and how to use it.
can I do a knowledge check or history check or whatever it is to identify what area of the world she might be talking about, and is it close to
Why do I even need
Light
to be
hollow.
associated with this?
Sure, go ahead.
or is it in the
Do get
direction
the
of
questions.
questions?
No, if she's
We're on
saying
the
that
train.
it's going towards
I was just trying to
the city
avoid
of
getting a
Rose,
strip
that's the
search.
direct opposite.
Making it farther away from where we should go. But
Where else go?
First of all, okay.
Back to the monastery?
Hi, Captain Rogar. I have a little bit of power and influence. You don't have to take on this struggle. You don't want to. You all got wrapped into this, and you saved my life, and I'm grateful. Once you get the pay, you don't have to continue working with the Mystical Archive.
At risk still.
Yes, you are at risk, but only because you're deciding to take something from the Mystical Archive and leave with it.
That's fair, but would it not make more sense to remove it, to give you time to make your contacts and do the things you need to do without also worrying and watching the thing to make sure no one touches it?
How about this? We go back to the Mystical Archives. We get bandaged up because of all those specs. I'm fucked up. We get medicine. We bandage ourselves up. We get resources. We get questioned a little bit. With me here and these ne'er-do-wells with us, we will most likely not be arrested. We would question, yes, but we have alibis. You have me. I feel that we have sufficient evidence to show that we are not part of this scheme and play. We take the item to Finley. He studies it, and then we can talk to the CEO of the Mystical Archive, and we make an appeal to have it transferred to your care. Yes.
Like that.
This way, we are not immediately pissing everyone off.
all right,
Don't need enemies.
That's fine.
Right.
I agree with that.
Look,
all right. We'll need to make sure that any records, assuming that can happen, and assuming I will want to make sure that any records of who has it are expunged or not, something that's protected, because whoever doesn't have this thing is still going to be looking for it.
naturally, because they just sent a bunch of men to try to grab it, and also for my own head. So I'm probably going to go into protected custody right off the bat.
As your family should too.
Yeah, well, I will handle that. Yeah. But either way, Yeah, but no. I am fully against not going to the Mystical Archive because it's going to cause all sorts of problems on my end, just for me personally. Not even talking about you guys. Because if the government is already at the Mystical Archives that locked it down because there was a mass shooting, essentially, and we disappear with a train with an artifact,
Guilty.
we're immediately guilty by association of running for our lives.
All right.
So, we go to the Mystical Archives, we answer a few questions, we talk it out, and that's all we need to do, yes?
Yes.
I understand that you're panicked, but I think you've had a little bit of time to calm down now. To
All right.
try to figure something out, alright? And they're not the government. The government will be involved, but the Mystical Archive is not. Hopefully that will solve the religious, a little fanaticism.
Can I join Ozzy in the questioning?
Yeah, you grappling hook all to the other side past the explosion. You see Ozzy currently has a small little like contraption that's singing terrible music, high beat. Ozzy's full shirtless. And is currently puffing on a big cigar, just looking at these upside down individuals that are
It's playing
gagged.
Baby Shark over and over.
But it's pitched down like 2 times.
Pitched up, pitched up.
No, pitched down, sped up.
There you go.
No.
Would that end up being the same?
And you see him in
It will
minutes,
distort
and it's like Ozzy goes, so the skin's actually very versatile and thicker than you think. You know, a lot of people like to make, very much like Devilkin, they like to make skin-based materials. Oh, hey, Morgan, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
You want to pitch it? And you hear a buff on in the rags that are upside down, having blood go to their heads and stuff like that. You can look all you want, but unless you ask me out, I go on the third date rules, of course.
No, I just had a question for them.
Oh, so do I, but this is the entire reason why we're here, you know?
Okay, well, may I ask my question, or do you need to beat them a little bit more first?
So I'm going to roll with advantage on intimidation check. That's a natural 17 with Ozzy's. Part of the reason why it's working is because Ozzy's just full black fucking shit crazy. He's
But that's why we like him. He needs to come with us where we're going.
He's actually not proficient in intimidation.
He should be.
He should be, but honestly. So, alright, so it's just a +2. So that's a 19. So the eyes immediately look towards you as he takes off one of the rags. Ask your question. He says, ask your question, and he doesn't take off the gags yet, because he's going to wait until you ask the question first.
So, the three of you are low level, I'm sure. However,
Could be more than 2.
as far as knowing the knowledge of the plan. However, has the Silverhand name been involved in this?
And these are the three that are of the extremists.
Yeah, I can ask the
The
paladin.
paladin
later.
is still not
He's
the fuck
still not
out.
done. I
next
can
to-
ask him later.
Captain Rogar is like put a foot on his chest so that he can't move when he wakes up. So it's like one of those things.
Yeah.
You see two individuals' eyes, they glance to each other. The other one is just completely gazed over, like, I have no idea what that means. And Ozzy picks up immediately of those two and takes a dagger, takes and cuts the rag off of the mouth and stuff like that. And the guy immediately starts spouting, I heard about the Silver Hand, the Mr. Tips. He referred to him several times. Ozzy immediately goes, who's Mr. Tips? Mr. Tips is who guides us our instructions.
What were they saying about them when you heard their names mentioned?
Something about transactions. A lot of money passed through, and a transaction from an individual that wanted the Mystical Archives to hand over after it was put into the custody of the Mystical Archives.
Wait, what?
Some rich noble individuals wanted the item in question.
Once it went into the Mistral archives.
Yes.
Is that plan still in place, or did they agree to that?
But apparently they agreed to it. They paid a hefty sum of money.
Fuck. Okay. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. What else did you hear?
When they kind of look at each other, it's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? What else did you hear?
What else did we hear?
About, yes, that name is involved. What else did you hear?
Oh, about that name? Well, pretty much that's it. It basically, something about the, those religious nutjobs, right? They were helping us out. They were really wanting to help us out. They actually approached Tips, apparently, and offered him a opportunity. And he took it, involving this. But we needed backing. We needed a lot of backing, a lot of money, right? So we reached out to a couple nobles that would be interested in an item, and they were interested in the item in question.
And they gave you the money to fund this whole plan.
Well, maybe not all the money, but a big part of it, yes.
Oh my god.
I can really feel my heartbeat through my eyeballs right now. Take me away from this gnome,
Could
please.
you?
Halfling.
Could you?
You're not a gnome.
Could you reach this Mr. Tips yourself? Do you know where we could find him? Or how we could reach him if we wanted to?
All I know is that, and he looks over to his buddy. He's like, actually, the only thing I know is that he's somewhere in the Mistral Archives itself. I don't know. I've never met him, but I've always communicated him across the MRE, or what is it called again?
How do you,
the NRE. The NRE.
what do you use to contact him? I mean, what is this? The name, the call signal, the whatever that you use to indicate that you.
That's what it is. It's the NRE. It's the communicating process of the Harkara Nation that was actually technically stolen from the residuums. But anyway, regardless, there's a communication guild. The communication guild that specifically works in the underground networks. It's called the Black Coil Dispatch. They work with the basically bootleg versions of the NREs, which is the neuroglyphic relay network. It's the mass communication hubs of Harkon.
And Mr. Tips works in the Mistral Archives. He's part of the Mistral Archives.
Yes, he never made direct reference of it, but a lot of our forces go into there, and a lot of our resources go into there. I know that.
Ozzy.
Oi!
Edwin.
Sorry?
Mr. Tips? Edwin? I never trusted him right from the start. He always seemed a bit off.
Oh, no. And you're speaking to Ozzy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Hold on. Mr. Tips? All I can refer to is that there's a lot of pointed-eared individuals, and you immediately went to Edwin. Why?
Because he's the one that had it in his hands.
Okay.
He acted shifty right from the start, even after everything was fine. Why did he have it? Why was it going into the museum itself before it had been cataloged, studied? We don't know what it is. Why did he have it out, just carrying it around? It doesn't make sense. Don't you know what I mean?
All right.
So if they're working with someone inside the archive and that person is still there, then obviously what Gideon said is true. We can't take it back there because someone's waiting for it.
Didn't the drow lady originally purchase it?
No, she dropped it off.
I dropped it off.
Oh, he dropped it off, but she...
You seem to be running off information that I don't know about and I wasn't privy to.
No,
but I mean...
no, okay, wait. If my parents were involved in this, which they just said that they were, some nobles were waiting there to buy this when it came back to the archive.
Okay. That's not too uncommon, especially with us being a auction house.
Yeah, but it's not ready yet.
True.
They are going to do
They would have to
something
have
with it.
prior information about it, yeah.
Yes, so somebody is in there, somebody's going to take it when it comes back, and they're going to sell it. They're going to give it to my parents. And they're the last fucking people in Hartkern you ever want to have this. Trust me. But
He
they
looks
want
over to the
this.
people dangling. Does this sound a little right to you? And a couple of guys are like, mostly, but they already gave like 50% of the money. It was something upwards of 50,000 gold pieces to be transferred and everything. So we already got like half the payment, or at least the people
Um,
got half the payment already.
But we took it, and now we're going to bring it back. They're waiting for it. You see it? They're going to take it. They can't have it. We can't give it to them. It's. You don't want them to have this.
Ozzy looks over and starts gagging the people again. All right, look. It sounds like you need to go talk to your people. So you're saying that we don't go to Miss Archives?
I don't know. I'm gonna go tell them this
Or should we
information.
confront them? Or what? Do we turn them into the authorities? Do you have any physical proof of this apart from these dipshits over here, you know?
Other than that, my parents
he
are.
kind of flicks the cigar on the chin of one of them, and you hear
Other-
muffled screaming.
Other than that, my parents are absolute pieces of shit.
Who
No,
doesn't have piece of shit parents?
you don't understand.
Oh, I don't understand bad parenting.
They kill people to get what they want. To take things, to steal things. Their collection is all from people that they've stolen it from or killed to get it.
Look, you don't need to tell me this, all right? I get it. Bad parents 101. Look, you need to go talk to your grub and Captain Rilgar, because technically he's above my pay grade
Alright.
in terms of, like,
Alright.
authority figures.
I'm gonna go back
and
and
that.
I'll-
And apparently
Going
he has more of something of a restraint system and stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back and since everybody was listening, I'm gonna.
You
just
can
gonna
explain all you want.
Story-wise, we're gonna communicate this. I'll
So-
communicate what I was told. But specifically to Captain Rogue, I'm like, if they are involved with this, we need to keep that item as far away from them as possible.
Yes, we do.
So we're back on the subject of not taking the train back to
I'm
the
not
Mr.
saying-
Archive.
I'm not saying that we can't take the train back there, but we need to find some place or some way to hide this, because if we take it back to the archive, my parents are going to take it.
We could simply confiscate it because it's part of the investigations.
Where would that put it?
In the confidential areas of the Mistral Archives, or in the hands of the governmental individuals that are following the investigation.
The government.
Which unfortunately goes to his category of
Exactly.
why he's going fucking ballistic.
And on top of that,
Look, we clearly can't win everything here. And what about, you said something about Finley? What about Finley?
Finley. Who's that?
Edwin.
Edwin? Edwin. Who's Edwin?
At the archives, he's the one that had the device to begin with. But
That's Finley, yeah.
There's somebody working.
Am I messing up the names
Still
here?
working in the Mistral archives.
I'm-
It's Edwin.
It-
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
okay.
It's been a while.
But there's somebody who is still working in the Mistral archives, even now, that is giving them tip-offs to this that they contact to get information.
Yes.
We don't know who that is. So why are we going to take it back to the Mistral archives and
So,
deliver
okay.
it to the person that is giving them that information? That's one. Two,
So it sounds like okay, so Edwin has viable, if the word of these people can be considered to be true, we can use that as motive and cause to, well, not motive, as cause to take Edwin into questioning, and also why he had it to begin with and stuff like that, and
well,
why it went to
everybody
him.
that's there should be in questioning, but the fact is my parents...
Well, then all of us are going to go into questioning as well.
My parents have bankrolled this at least 50% already.
How much is 50%?
At least 50,000 gold pieces, they said.
Wow, that's, woo! You can buy a lot of things with that.
Yeah, but it not just for this. The whole thing. And I
Perfinius, how much did you get paid for this?
How much is that 3 platinum worth?
I may or may not. Okay, fine. Here,
I just pull out the cube of platinum.
this much.
How can you hold that so casually, man?
Beard of holding.
I'm just
It comes out of his beard.
I'm just saying.
Mustache of holding.
Hold on. How much is that?
I don't know. It's not mine.
Well, like, how much is that in platinum?
Oh, how much? It's like 50 pounds.
50 pounds of platinum?
Yeah.
What the?
Which is
10
That's gotta be,
roughly,
that's gotta be bigger than a cube.
10 platinum pieces is like what?
which is about 50,000 gold pieces.
Wait, that's...
What?
I know.
It's
I know.
500.
No.
Wait,
No.
wait.
No. His employers took that money, not him.
Well, they will when I give it to them.
Exactly, but it's not his money.
Who are your employers?
So, hold on. 50,000 gold pieces that was supposedly used in the purchase as an item was then transferred in 50,000 gold pieces to him. in
Platinum to
form.
return to his employers.
Who's
Yes.
your employer?
So then, where did the money go for the extremists?
I'm assuming that it was paid in by some other people. I mean, they're not. They said that my parents weren't the only ones that were part of this. My parents' 50,000 GP was only a fraction of what's being paid out. This is like.
Oh,
said,
so you're saying that there's multiple transactions?
Yes.
Are you going on actual physical proof of something, like documentation or something like that?
Of what?
Or are you just going because you know them and your
Because I
parents?
know them, but you know as well as I do.
No, I
that-
don't. I don't
you-
know your
the way-
parents.
No, it's not my parents. It's collectors in general.
Yes, we deal with a lot of collectors and stuff like that, which is why you have to have physical proof,
And
especially
how many
when
of them don't?
Hmm?
If you pay enough, you can get stuff off record.
Okay, as a person that handles security and paperwork and documents and stuff like that, that is putting a lot of heat on me, and I don't
No.
appreciate
It's
it.
true though.
It has nothing to do with you. There's trades that happen completely outside of.
Yeah, and I try
your
to
stuff.
stamp them out as much as possible. But
So
it's-
that's you can't do everything because there's a whole network of rich ass people who will do whatever they need to.
So we will investigate transactions. So when we get back, Edwin needs to be interrogated along with the drow, along with some paper and documentation checking involving your name. What is your family's name, by the way?
Silverhand.
The Silverhand. All right. So we need to investigate the Silverhands and stuff like that. There's a lot of investigations.
Change right now.
There's a lot of like saying the bad guy's this person, that person. But right now, this is nothing but gut feeling based off the evidence that you have brought me.
Well, that's what they said. But what they said, actually, they don't know me. They don't know my family. So what they said actually matches a lot of what I've seen from them in the past. So it doesn't surprise me that they've done that.
Are you okay?
And then again, obviously, that we're not in Ire, we're in Rose. That's completely different set of security.
Yeah. All right. So, is anyone objecting? Okay. So you don't want it to get to your people. I get that. I'll
No,
put,
I just don't know. I just want us to think for a minute with this new information
okay.
about taking that particular item to the Mistral Archive itself. I'm not saying that we can't go to Ire. I'm not saying that we can't.
Okay.
But
But you want to hide it.
or something else. So we need to put it or find a place to put it where it's safe outside of the archive.
Oh,
Is there a chance that I would actually know how to contact Mr. Tips?
Here's an idea.
Mr.
This is-
Tips.
This is what.
Well, right. If he
If you're
coordinates.
assuming that it's Edwin,
Well, no. I mean, if Mr. Tips is the one who distributes information across the underground,
I have.
you based off your backstory.
maybe not know him personally.
Yeah, you don't know person right off the
But I might
bat.
know how to contact
Yeah,
him.
Mr. Tips is a code name for. I mean, there's a lot of people that have pointy-eared stuff in their genes and stuff
I
like
have
that.
an idea.
Edwin is a half elf. Last time you checked, but if you were looking for a code name of Mr. Tips, you can definitely, when you're back into the city and back into the communication networks, start asking around in the underground system.
Not so much that is, if Mr. Tips knows people who want things, might be able to use that information to move an artifact outside the boundaries of.
But if he's part of
You
We
can
didn't have to know
definitely
which
try to.
artifact.
You can definitely try to communicate with them. But I mean, if you
But not
just,
until we're back in Ire.
I mean, do you have a communication system in play? Can you have sending or send a letter?
I don't think we can. I don't think we have receiving. I think it's
Yeah.
one way.
but you had a deduction.
We don't have to necessarily, turn in the cube.
What do we turn in then?
We don't have the cube.
But they know that we had it because we took it with us, right?
We also got attacked several times.
Oh.
I'm gonna. Well, yes. All right. The thought did occur across me because honestly, this is too much for even for me. But what is to say that these assholes don't say that they saw us throw it over?
Because they were trying to. They're dwells anyways. Who's going to believe them?
They
It is-
tried to kill you and they tried to kill us.
Okay.
They would say anything to save their skin.
Mm-hmm.
During investigation process, it is a normal thing that people with zones of truths happen and stuff like that. There is a specific way of communicating. Anyway, but it is we could do that, but there is loose ends that are here, and he points to the people that are
So we
upside
tied them
down.
up.
but they're going to get into investigations as soon as we get there.
Oh, we cut them
So
loose.
we tie them up.
Set them loose into the Underdark.
Oh, I didn't say set. I said cut.
Uh,
They won't be loose ends if you cut the ends off.
And the paladin will be able to be taken care of. He doesn't know that we still have the thing. He's still passed out, so he doesn't know any of this.
I guess advocating murdering people in front of the captain of the guard is questionable.
Yeah.
Let's turn it back.
It's usually
Plausible deniability.
plausible denied.
yes, there's one thing that I won't do, and that is I will defend myself and defend others against an attack or against. But I'm not going to. I won't advocate it. Someone, whether they are implicated in this event or not, I'm not advocating. I couldn't advocate to cut anyone's throat.
Is
Oh,
anyone-
no, I didn't mean cut the throat. I just meant, like,
Another
cut the
way
rope
to
that
go
was
about
holding him up and let him fall. It's fine.
Another way to go about it.
You have to understand how that works.
Are there any casters here who
Oh,
have
sure.
the ability to modify memory?
I don't.
Modified memory is very powerful. I don't think anyone has that ability.
Maybe someone who has access to ne'er-do-wells who also might have access to such powerful items.
I'd have to ask, but we're a little ways away.
You know, we
I mean,
can.
I'm from the Free Cities. That's
Do we
not
even
close.
know what these extremists are trying to do, or do they know?
They seem to be trying to blow Ire up for having their nation bled. I don't know what
That
that
is what they
means.
said. Yeah.
This has implications into the realm of the gods.
But maybe we should just.
This is what Bahamut shared with me, but I didn't have enough time to figure
Gods
it out.
haven't walked among us in generations.
Right, but I have a feeling this thing will change something of that.
Maybe we should all just take a couple of hours to rest, get our heads together, figure out what's going on, try to think of some ideas.
But we're only 6 hours away, 6.5 hours away, maybe 6 hours away now of
More
the city
seven-ish.
of, the city of Ire, and if we lay down to rest, we're by the time we get up, it will be
Well,
there.
Maybe two. I mean, I'm just saying.
we're not. We
Take
could
a
also
couple of
just not
hours.
kill them. We could just let them go.
That's fair enough, I guess.
You have this 50,000 gold piece cube of platinum that was given by. Why were you given it? You're just being a courier of this money?
Oh yeah. Well, did we not? Did we miss the part where I delivered this artifact to the archive in the first
I
place?
assume so because you brought up the Drows
Just-
multiple times.
Yes. So
So
how are we supposed to?
you don't have to believe me. It's fine. But I work for a group out of the Amber Cities. We acquire and we move goods, and the archive is a large pair of people who acquire and move goods. So I bring it in, I get payment, I take the payment back to my contact, and then I go back to work. Easy.
And he's telling the truth because that's how my parents get a lot of the things in their
Right.
collection.
And well, you brought the artifact in the first place.
It wasn't quite as active when I was carrying it. It was doing exactly no vibrating. And definitely didn't disintegrate the box I carried it in. Something happened at the archive in a remarkably rapid amount of time. I got paid, I took an elevator, I looked at a booth next to a bar, and I got shot by cannons, and that thing was already out of its box vibrating, so...
That's what I'm saying.
Huh.
Edwin had it.
And then the kobolds were trying to blow it up.
What's up?
Very good point.
Yeah, that was unusually quick.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Last thing.
And
we
it
need to
didn't
do
vibrate at all, nothing whatsoever.
Well, I mean, not anymore.
Did you even know? Did you know what you were transporting?
No, I don't
Okay,
ask.
so
And that's
assuming
the
that
thing.
it was in a box of lead that was probably enchanted with some sort of levitation magic to
can't
make it
bring it
lighter
back
than
to
it
Edwin.
is and stuff like that. But or
I mean,
even
they
then,
packed me in a train, right? Like I brought it in on a train. It's not like I walked or I flew or took some magic thing. I just took on a train. They stuffed me in the storage compartment. It's not like I was gentle with this thing.
well, okay, this is going on the my territory information. Like when you have people that are trying to sneak and smuggle things in, they usually encase it in lead in terms of the lead case, and then they also have that case that have like runes that have a slight levitation magic to it, so that it reduces the weight, so it doesn't like, oh, that thing's filled with lead. Okay, let's open up to see what's inside of it, kind of thing, right? Because you're trying to smuggle a contraband into it and stuff like that. But anyway, there's no proof that happened. But, the point is, you saw it, I'm assuming you guys saw it when it was going crazy?
Yes, and
Like-
it was being held by Edwin in a box, and like an unlead lined box,
He
going
was shouting,
nuts.
"Don't let them! Don't let them touch me! Don't let them near me!"
Right.
Yeah, that's weird.
Suspicious.
You arrived during the Mana Storm, right?
Yeah, on a train though.
Well, it was still during the Mana Storm.
But he was.
Well, lots of
most
everyone
it's
didn't.
underground.
Didn't we all come in
Most
by
of it's
train?
underground, so.
Well, you still walked around inside before you had to hand it off, so it's still during the Mana Storm. So
And we're still comfortable with bringing
So-
this back to Edwin.
Okay, before
not.
the celestial runes,
not,
did anyone
yeah,
confirm
but-
if there was like any tampering to the device? I'm not an arcane person or celestial person. Does anyone have capability? Ozzy's like, I got it. Ozzy, put on the shirt.
Well, the last time you tried to do this, you went blind.
Yeah, but I'm oiled up now.
Ew.
I don't recall if I actually tried looking at that or not.
No, you did not.
Okay, I want to give it a go.
I think
Alright.
you saw him go blind and you're like,
So are you doing Arcana yourself, or are you
Yes.
helping Ozzy?
I suppose I could help him.
Yeah. Are you proficient in Arcana?
I think I might be.
Double check that.
I am not.
Then I'm going to say that you cannot assist with this, because this is going to be one like you have to be proficient or expertise in Arcana to assist. Ozzy goes, going once, going twice. Ah, lubed arm time.
Ew.
Piece of shit.
But they pay well.
The moment that we go back to the city of Ire, this is going to end up in Edwin's hands.
Yes, because he's the
Well,
head.
because it is under his care and supervision now, which is also another. Now that you bring that up, I'm usually the one in terms of clockwork artifacts, right? Well, sorry, no. In train-based modern artifacts, he is a person in terms of clockwork specializations. This is clearly Arcana. Why the hell would this be under his name?
Yes.
No, I chopped it up into the assumption that maybe it was an accidental paperwork, like.
I'm telling
Because
you.
it was supposed to be. Yes. And he.
But that's what I've been
activated it.
saying the whole time, that he was weird.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Hey,
weird.
looky! And he has like some like little small devices to undo it, and he takes out small little paper with runes on it that have been stuffed on the inside. So not on the outside, but on the inside of the casing, there's like small little paper runes that have been tiny, very gradually like you take like what's the proper terminology of like you starch paper and put it on a balloon.
Paper mache.
Static.
Paper mache kind of thing, but it's on the inside, laid with familiar runes, and he takes out. Yep, they're lined all inside of it. Wow, pretty subtle too, especially for how bright it is on the inside, so that it's a little harder to see and stuff like that. And as soon as he takes it out,
Oh no! Put it back in. It's a seal to hold something in.
and the light of the intensity diminishes on the item. No, look, I'm a person of arcane capability. Well, sorry, I use artifacts and other magical things because I innately do not have the capability to manipulate the weave like, the wizards! And fuck those guys. Again, he's bare-chested, lubed up, and has a surprising amount of fur on his chest. Which is funny because he's very bald on the top of his head. So anyway, I learn about magic so that I can wield things with magic, like runes and stuff like that, of various origins and powers, to manipulate them into arcane constructs. Archotech. I can't say.
Architect.
I can't say Arcana Tech in his accent. Anyway, Arcana Tech and stuff like that. This is clear tampering of making things deeply unstable.
So
Do you want me to take the rest of them out?
it's
Yeah.
that being there is making it unstable.
Yes. No, this is the one that makes everything, connect and stuff like that. The that
Okay.
inside. So
do you
I pretty much
know-
disarmed
Will
it.
stable?
But what?
Will stabilize?
It will stabilize as soon as you get the rest of them out. But this makes it like truly unstable. The celestial capabilities, I don't know celestial,
Do you
but it
know-
looks like the celestial draconic magic is the thing that made it so it didn't go kablooey.
Is it? Can you, Ozzy? Do you know?
Could have been, you know,
Do you know Edwin's signature, his handwriting? Do you know it?
Perhaps that was the intention.
that
for it
would
to
be
go
an
off
insight
during the
check.
raid.
He might have been.
Well, yeah. 'cause-
Natural 15.
Yeah, Cobalt is trying to knock
Insight.
out
What
his
is
hand.
Ozzy's wisdom? -1.
Probably- it's supposed to
That
go
makes
out there.
sense.
Yeah.
Ozzy's like, a lot of people write on paper, or especially traded paper and like this stuff and stuff like that,
Turns
in
out
order
they
to
can't read.
do arcane magicry, right? Might be his. I don't know.
Can I look at it? Can I look at it?
Sure.
Check it all out.
So what are you trying to base it off of? You don't exactly have his handwriting, right?
No, but I wanted to see if it's handwriting I recognize. AK, is it my parents' handwriting?
Roll a insight check or a straight memory check.
What would be a memory check?
Just a D20.
D20 plus intelligence
Or an insight?
or insight. That's a wisdom based thing.
7, 13, 15.
15. You keep mentioning Edwin and the container that he held it in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what kind of stuff that he was trying to place on it to try to contain the
He was
mice?
just slapping scrolls and papers and stuff on it.
Specifically paper mache looking type of pieces of paper.
Right.
It looks very similar to that.
I knew it. I knew it.
We take this back. It's going into his hands.
We
We
can't.
can't go back.
It's not that we can't go back.
We
but
can't go back with that.
We can't give it to him. We need to find another place to put it.
Right.
No, actually, with Captain Rogar, with me here, that is more than enough information that I can put into the military officials, and also me being the captain of the guard of the Mr. Archive to bring it in and arrest him into interrogation.
We're
With that proper handwriting that he's known for doing and stuff like that.
But where can we keep it other than the archive?
He will never see it.
But it's not net. But what about if
It will
there's-
still go into the archive's custody and stuff like that, and it would be used and locked up for greater processing and judgments, trials and stuff
before
like that.
getting it released into our custody? Because we'd ask.
If you are able to convince the current proprietor of this item, which is currently the Mr. Archive CEO, if you're able to convince him to have that be released in your care, or straight out purchase it, because if this was purchased under less than scrupulous means, which you have already said that to me, it is viable to be seized by me and to be investigated further and to not be sold to those that are using back alley deals.
And if you don't bring your payment back to your supplier, then you're on the hook. Someone's hunting you.
Yeah, not a great idea. Not, well,
Hey, join the team. High five.
I don't think I can reach that high, man.
I won.
He brings it down lower. How long am I going to be this large anyway?
You rolled 4 hours.
I don't know that.
Oh, I thought you were
I don't know that.
most of the trip.
Cool.
But at least we have a better plan. We know more. We know who is behind it. He won't get his hands on it. You could seize it and maybe have it released to us. At least help us with that. And that's a better start
I
than
think
where we were.
it's going to take a little bit of the problem is we're going to have to go through a lot of tape in terms of bureaucracy to make it so that people believe us when we pull up, and so that Edwin has as little time possible to do whatever he's going to do.
Do we still have that machine that we brought that sends one message?
Ozzy's like, yeah. Want me to build another one? I also have sending as capabilities.
Okay, should we send a message to no, I can't think of his name
Rogar?
now. No, Rogar.
No, sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Not
Rustborn.
Rustborn. Thank you. Should we send a
Yes.
message to him asking
Man, I wanted the echo device.
with
Anyway.
that
Echo.
with some of that information, so that he can arrest Edwin now before we even get there?
Yeah, I'll send a message.
But well, wait, is Rogar? Would that be a good idea? Do you think, or should
Okay.
we not?
Captain Rogar, he thinks it over. No, I think that is a brilliant idea to send a message to Rustborn. Now, be aware, if you tell Rustborn it, he's not going to wait. He's just going to do. Which, take it how you leave it. I trust his capabilities, but you know, if he's as pissed as of his coworkers dying under his care as I am, he's just going to kick in the front door and take kick asses and take names. And probably not take names.
As his captain, can you give him the order to just?
I mean, I would tell Ozzy the message, and Ozzy would send do casting this message.
But just tell him
Rustborn.
not to. That there's a plan in place. We just need him in custody before we get there. Preferably alive.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Preferably.
You want me to here? He goes over, gets the backpack, breaks. He literally smashes it down. That the backpack of Sunny that had all the electric eggs. He just smashes it. Takes a handful of items, connects it. Ooh. Still shirtless, by the way.
We're not going to change that. We just,
That's where he gets his power, apparently.
From his oiled, sagging pecs.
Or he stores it in his.
Honestly,
The taco
Power of
man.
Harry Nichols.
Ozzy's surprisingly jacked. No. Sorry, no. Yeah, Ozzy's surprisingly jacked. He's got that old man muscle bod, which is weird. As he puts together this horribly wired arcana text kind of stuff that seems to rattle, and he takes a hammer, smacks one side. Dear Rustborn, how you doing? FYI, Edwin Bad. Arrest him. Tell you why later.
But
okay,
don't
so
we
you're
need?
at 14.
But
Got any tea to spill?
Got what?
well, no, don't we need to tell him that that there is a plan in place? But he just needs to be in custody.
Ooh, that is gossip. As he receives the message back and stuff like that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, shouldn't. So, but we just there's a plan. We just need him in custody. Don't kill him. Don't beat him up. Just take him into custody.
Gotcha. He presses a couple others. Dear Rustborn, me again.
Long time listener, first time caller.
To clarify, beat Edwin
No,
half to death.
no, don't beat him. Don't beat him to death at all.
What do we have?
But
Just because he's annoying.
oh god.
Most likely, grand conspiracist that wants to blow up. And he looks at you like what he wants to blow.
Ire.
City of Iron.
City. That's it.
That's fine.
I always felt
Need a
that
word.
these spells should be, instead of limited by words, should be limited by syllables, because I feel like you get like a grand versus conspiracist. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like.
Yeah, or at least characters. Like how many characters?
We don't do syllables in math
25
games.
words, it's 250 letters.
Next thing
Alright.
you know, everyone's gonna do the spells like
Just a somatic
Paper.
component.
Okay, I got one more in me.
Morse code.
I got
there's no
one
words.
more in me. If you want me to send another time, I'll consent one time. I got one more in me.
Are
Is
you
there
able to-
anything you want me to do?
Are you able to receive, or is it just?
Oh yeah, he
Sending his
received
bear back.
immediately and stuff like that. He said, yeah, he said pretty much YOLO.
YOLO.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well,
It's Rustborn.
so does the captain have anything that he would like to communicate to Ozzy? That
Oh,
is
he had a
more,
lot of questions of
that
like.
is more like an order
He asked, like,
of
is
what to
Captain
do.
Rogar okay? He asked, are you alive? He asked if you have anything that, like relevant for the mission at play. He also said, please make sure to memorize your cards before returning to the city.
But no, I mean, but does Captain Rogar have anything he wants to tell Ozzy?
Oh,
that is a more specific.
Every single one.
That's a good bit in game. Remember. Oh yeah, shit. We reach under our seats and start reading.
I'm the only
So
one
it
that
sounds
doesn't
like
have that.
Rogar, you're going to be interrogated and your papers are going to be taken just to make sure that you say who you are. Kind of.
I don't even have any papers because.
Then
my
you
name is
don't have to
already
worry
on
about it. Just
Yeah.
say who you are.
I'm gonna furiously scribble it on
No,
my
it's not-
hand.
it's
So you go like you said, please
You don't
remember
have
your
to do this.
papers.
I'm
Everyone went,
rich.
No,
That's full cannon at the bar, just on the train, rocking around, people hanging upside down, Paladin, what the fuck, and you hear a thoof as Rogard kind of stomps a little hard to put him back to sleep.
So while this is going down, I think Morgan's just gonna go find a bunk and just sit there for a few minutes, like trying not to just break down at this point because her family is
Treat
involved
gently.
in something
What?
so horrible
Okay.
and big, and she's just like, I fucking hate you guys so much. Like,
To be fair, Ozzy's Ozzy, alright? So I apologize.
no, it's not that. No, it's not that he did anything. I think it's just her trying to deal with the fact that her family is doing something this bad. I mean, she knew they were shit anyways. But now this is even worse, and she's like,
Yeah.
I want to change my name. I fucking hate you guys so much.
Captain Rogard goes, do you mind if I butt in and give it some crucial information? Because I know
Please.
how it runs, security systems and stuff like that. So, and Rogard goes into basically the security guard version of Thieves' Cant, which is a coded variation of what normal Thieves' Cant is, but this is meant for like security guards of like, especially for those that have 25 words of like sending. We'll say
interpret it.
interpret information, especially since he works with Rustborn. So he says various things of code red status, lockdown initiate of all essential personnel, but not in terms of like all of that and stuff like that. Because you understand me a little bit, but this is basically what he's saying. High value target, arrest Edwin under the conspiracy of treason. Evidence on hand. Rustborn alive. Yeah. But, you know, basic information and stuff like that. So basically giving all the information that is crucial so that they can do their part on their scene. Now, since Morgan is the one that gave the word to arrest Edwin, tips, as you suspected, I'm going to roll 2d20 as advantage, and this is going to be a luck check.
Okay.
You want a 15 or higher?
Oh god. Okay.
Would you like to roll?
Or do you want to do it?
I ask you, Morgan.
Oh god. Okay. Okay. Right here. Nope.
Is that a no?
That is no. That's an 8 and a 3.
8 and 3. So about 20 minutes go by as you guys are doing your thing, and Captain Rogar comes over, decreased in size. He's like, you know, I do miss the decrease in size. And he stops. Understood. Thank you for the information. We will arrive on scene as soon as possible. Morgan,
Yes.
it seems that you were right. But he's already gone. Apparently, half of the wing of the clockwork Emporium was filled with constructs under his command, and a lot of turncoats were ready and already gone. By the time they worked through the constructs, Edwin was gone, and they currently have found an escape hatch through the crystal that was at the center of the exhibit.
Oh, damn, we were right there. All right.
They seem to also found, and of course, 25 words, you look at some notes, right? There's something about they found secret hideout with incriminating evidence and a lot of explosives. Something to do with the refinery process. Congratulations. You are no longer immediate suspects of the investigation. Hey, high five!
Great.
You saved my life! You found the guy! Well,
Consider that a win. I'm gonna go sleep.
yes, please go sleep. I'm gonna sleep. I took a shit and half of it was blood. It was not good.
Wow. TMI on that one, buddy.
Look, yeah, look.
Was that before or after he was little?
I could have.
Don't answer that.
I used the back one. Don't worry.
Dang it, I wish I had a fake link now so I could re-roll that, but that's okay.
Yeah, it happens. But I will say right off the bat, congratulations on figuring it out, the conspiracy, and using the resources in play and the people that you had in
That's a lot
terms of
of
Ozzy,
deduction.
Captain Rogar, in sending spells, because Ozzy did make the backpack of sending for a one-time use. So he has the capabilities of sending. You just have to ask him. Congratulations. And I'm going to end this game right here. As you sleep, get a full long rest. I know it's a little shorter or not, but it was a solid 6 hours of sleep. And you return to a Mistral Archive with a couple of investigations, some preliminary questions that we'll get to, but not immediate protocol arresting, with the residuum extremists, that they are now known, that had plans to sabotage, if not outright explode, the elemental refinery, the powerhouse of the entire nation of Harkern, has been thwarted, thanks to your efforts.
So that's what I was going to do. Okay.
But we still have plenty of other issues.
Oh yeah,
This
just
entire
because you
shit
handled
doesn't
say
one
much either,
conspiracy,
but he doesn't-
there's still unexplained
She probably was
situation of
sitting with
like,
you at the
why are your parents that you believe your parents to be in place? There's document research in that. There's
And there's a reason
there's
that this-
Bahamut asking you things, and whatever you learned in the basically the architect of information that is this item that you haven't really identified or named or anything. Till next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep on rolling, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.